Hello everyone, today I will show you how to build this awesome treehouse for your Minecraft world as requested by my lovely fiance. Now, it has everything you need for a starter base or just a cute little hideout if you're already established in your Minecraft world like I am here. With that being said though, it's not gonna be a block by block tutorial because as you can imagine, with custom trees it's really hard to make a block by block tutorial because they are all different and super unique, especially with the leaves. However, if you do want the exact same treehouse or just want to check it out for yourself, I have the world download and the Litematica file in the description below. Now with that being said, let's get right started. So, you want to find a spot where to build a treehouse first of all. I am building this in my survival world and I chose this little corner back here because it's a little bit away from the action, but still visible, just like a nice little hideout. You can of course build this as your starter base, on top of a mountain perhaps, cause you will get some really good views from the treehouse. And to prepare it, we're just gonna flatten out the area a little bit and remove all the trees and surrounding foliage to make the build a little bit easier for ourselves. This is the material list for the treehouse itself. We've got oak leaves and jungle leaves up here. And then this is the material list for the interior. Now that we have the area prepared, it's time to start on the trunk. I recommend building that in Creative first and then using the Litematica mod to place that into your survival world, because building custom trees in survival is actually really hard. And that's exactly what I did. I created and designed this whole thing in Creative first, and now I can easily build it here in my survival world without having much issue. Make sure that your branches are fanning out like mine do, so the treehouse has a place to sit on top of. Okay, now that we have the rough shape of the tree, we are going to add in a bunch of trapdoors and slabs and stairs to make it look a bit smoother, especially down here along the trunk. And after that we can get right to the treehouse. Also, if you want some tips and tricks on how to build good looking custom trees, check out my other video that I did. I will leave a link for that in the description. Adding a lot of visible roots helps to blend the tree nicely into your world, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Okay, we've got a lot of detail added down here near the trunk now. And now it is time to get the platform in place, so the floor of the treehouse basically, to know, okay, what's the size we're working it, where do we want the treehouse to go, how big do we want it actually to be. And with my background in carpentry, I like my builds to make sense, so it won't just be floating and magically glued to the tree, the whole house structure. It's gonna be sitting on top of the branches, so it looks like how it would look in real life, and therefore it looks really natural and pleasing to me. That's also why I took inspiration of a old oak tree from real life. If you just Google an oak tree, you see a bunch of great pictures and they really fan out at the bottom, similar to this one, and they make great treehouse trees. I made sure to round off as much as possible with stairs, so it's not just the cubes sitting in the tree. And now that we know how the blueprint of our treehouse is gonna look like and we're happy with the floor plan, we can start raising up the walls a bit. I tend to have my living space 3 blocks high and make sure to add plenty of windows in here too. Oh, and also it's time to replace the scaffolding, because I know my entrance is going to be here. And the cool little trick that I found is, you want to have ladders going up here, and if we place trapdoors on this side and just we bring them all the way up, flip them, and we can place ladders right on top of here, and it looks like a nice little hanging rope ladder. Now that I have most of the walls from the first story in place, I can start adding in the remainder of the roof. A lot of it is already being taken care of by the second story, but there are some bits that are still missing a little bit, so I'm using those mangrove slabs to just fill in a nice little sloping roof. Okay, now the treehouse still looks a bit ugly, and that is because all the leaves are still missing. And we are going to add those in right now. Now with the leaves, we are going to use oak and jungle leaves. We're going to mix them up a little bit, and that's going to make it look just a lot more vibrant and alive. And with the leaves, it's important to not overdo it. You want to have a lot of empty space in between there, so the light can still shine through and it doesn't look just like your normal Minecraft trees. I make sure to add a lot of leaves where my branches are ending, thinning out from there. But also take a step back and check that the shape as a whole looks nice and fluffy, no hard edges or anything. Okay, now that all the leaves are in, it's probably a good time to check again if all your windows are still in a good spot, so you can still see out everywhere. Of course, when I built this in Creative, I already made sure that they're not completely covered by leaves, but just a little bit, so it doesn't look too obvious as well. So now with the leaves being done, we can start on the interior. And this is going to be the exciting part, because now it's starting to look really cozy and like an actual building, instead of just like a empty hull. And what goes inside of your building obviously depends on you, but I packed this full of detail and useful blocks, so that it's super viable as a starter base and even as a midterm base, because it has heaps of storage inside of it. We obviously have all the needed crafting stations and furnaces and storages in here, but that is only the first step. Ask yourself, what does your dream home contain, and try to replicate that in Minecraft. For me, that's a lot of books, plants, soft candlelight, some well-placed carpets, and shiny walks. Don't forget things that make sense, like some stacked firewoods, a place to sit and either relax or study, and an armor stand to take off your gear at the end of the day. Not everything needs to have an actual use in the game. Because I love cats, I'm also adding some platforms just for them to roam around on and just sit and flop. Decorating a house can definitely feel daunting, but it doesn't have to. Do what you like, build your dream house, and because that's what Minecraft is all about after all. If you love cottage vibe, go with that. If you like minimalist or modern, try that. And if nothing seems to work or you don't have any ideas on how to decorate your home, just go on Pinterest or YouTube and check out what other people have built. Get some inspiration that way. Okay, once the inside is looking fantastic and to your liking, we can start on adding the finishing touches on the outsides, because there's still a little bit of decoration to be done. Of course, we need to connect the treehouse up with a little path, and we can definitely also add some hanging vines and lanterns to this to really make the treehouse pop. Instead of vines, I decided to use glowberries because I like them a lot better and I love how they glow in the night. I'm also using hanging roots and a spore blossom to add some green particles, although you probably don't need the spore blossom anymore with the new updates. Make sure to shear the glowberries so they don't go all the way to the ground, unless you want them to, of course. For the grass I used a bunch of bone meal and got rid of all the too high grass. And then I added the new firefly bushes and normal bushes. The new falling leaves would also work really great for this. And now that the outside is looking all nice and pretty, we are almost finished. There's one final step to do, and that might be the most important step actually. Because Minecraft is a very static game, we want to bring some movement into it with our builds, and a lot of times we can use minecarts or some redstone constructions like pistons moving and stuff to bring movement to our build, but with the treehouse it's a bit tricky to get minecarts or redstone in there in a way which makes sense. So we're gonna use cats. If that one wouldn't get stuck on the chest. We're gonna fill the treehouse up with cats or dogs if you're a dog person, maybe even a villager if you're not using this as your main base. Or is the last one also teleporting up here, or maybe I gotta go a little bit higher for him to come? Maybe he's not coming. That's okay, we already have 3 in here. Look at those cutie patooties. Well, he almost made it. And with that, the treehouse is completely done. Now, I hope you got a lot of value out of this video and you now have a cool looking treehouse in your world. If you want to build exactly the same one, the world download and the Litematica file is in the description below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I see you next time. Bye!